Right, yes people, welcome back to another video on the channel, and as you can see, it's a slightly different setup to usual. So if you didn't know, I am currently on holiday. This time not with my friends, like I was in Paris. Watch them videos, we haven't already by the way. All 5 days are out. There's one more day, day 6, which is like the journey home, but you know, watch the 5 days. But yeah, I'm with my family in Tenerife at the moment, so I've got a little makeshift setup right now that I've got going on in the hotel. But yeah, before we get into the video, I just want to thank every single last one of you for the support on the channel. It has been it's been so surreal. I haven't been able to process it. Like, obviously I only restarted YouTube not long ago now, I think maybe like a month now, and to gain a video with over 500 views, let alone a K, let alone 2.5k, yes, that is what my results day video is on, I think, or 2.3. I've also gained, I think, 14 or something subs since that video. So we've hit 250. We're a quarter of the way there to that big 1000 that we're trying to reach, hopefully very soon. But it has been absolutely insane. Most liked video ever. It's got over 100 comments. Are so supportive, everyone congratulating me, so thank you all for that. And it's just been by far the most successful video of the channel, so I just want to thank everyone. If you watched it, if you didn't watch it, if this is the first time you're seeing me in the channel, first of all, welcome. But regardless, thank you. And just it's very nice to have that kind of support around you. But that got me thinking, you know, clearly a lot of people were kind of interested in that. Obviously it was kind of like the trend, you know, putting your results out there. But I thought, let me try to help someone else out. And obviously I'm now going into uni, but I remember being in year 12, transitioning to year 13. And by the way, I did no work in that year 12 summer. And I did think to myself, like, shit, I might need some help. Like, what am I going to get myself into now? And there were some videos here and there, but I thought, let me make my own video of my own personal advice to the new year 13s. So yeah, if you do find this video helpful, please do leave a like and subscribe if you are new around here. I mean, yeah, without further ado, let's get in. So first off, I think it's right to actually introduce, like, so you know where I'm coming from, because I am no expert. I am no way at all claiming that I am an expert, or like, I'm going to King's College, but I got AAC in my A levels, which isn't the greatest. I mean, I was 4 away for both my A's to A stars for both of them, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm nowhere near an expert. There's probably a lot better people out there, but it's just I'm trying to be as direct as possible. So I have a few tips. My first one here, and I think the main one that is the best to start off with, you need to address your year 12 weaknesses, and as soon as possible. So like I've just said, I did absolutely no work in year 12 summer. Like, I was enjoying myself. I went to Wireless. It was that hot summer where it hit like 40 degrees. I was playing games, going on holiday. Like, I literally did nothing. I didn't even do my personal statement, literally nothing. But if I was you, the first thing I would do is just focus on the key areas you thought, like, towards the end of the course in like year 12. Oh, you know, I'll leave it for later. I'll revise that later. You want to do this now? Because me personally, I did have, like, towards the end of year 12, when they're teaching you a few last things, but you know, you're just wanting to get to summer, you do start to slack off a bit. And for me, you do really need to address that as soon as possible, so you're not there come a few weeks before your exams thinking, we never learned this. Because there are a lot of people that I know who did kind of feel that way. So for example, for me in psychology, what I did straight away was they taught us attachment. Obviously I did the AQA exam board for psychology, by the way. But yeah, they taught us attachment in like the last 2 weeks, and that was it. So as soon as we started year 12 again, that's when I touched on attachment, and then also refreshed all my notes from obviously the previous topics in year 12. I think the best part to do is use flashcards. And me personally, I used Anki. I didn't use like physical flashcards, just because I thought it was more convenient. It was way quicker to make them, and obviously I could then schedule them how I'd like to, you know, review this, that, and the other. If you'd like me to release my flashcards, then please just let me know in the comments. I'm more than happy to. I'm not going to need them, so I might as well try to help someone else. But yeah, I think just actively recording them, try to get that, you know, the year 12 memories back again, and hopefully just you need some sort of, I think the reason why I did so well in like my paper ones and all was because it was more of like a core, like, baseline knowledge that you knew. If you make year 12 baseline knowledge and your long-term memory, I do think you're in for a good ride, because where year 13 is so much more complex, more content, you're going to be focusing on your year 13 content a lot more. So as long as you got year 12 pretty much like the ABCs, then you're going to be good. But by doing that, you do have to address whatever went wrong real quick. And you know, you don't need to do this. You can talk to your teachers if you don't, like, let's say you don't know exactly where you're going wrong. Look at your papers, talk to your teachers. Your teachers know you the best. Just ensure you aren't leaving any key weaknesses, because when your exams arise, it's gonna come off so clear. So yeah, you can do past papers, exam questions, flashcards, like I said. You just need to be actively recalling that and make sure that you're not leaving any gaps. But yeah, that is my first tip. Just, I think it's one of the biggest, but you really do need to address that as soon as possible. I mean, some of you might be watching this and thinking, yeah, you know, I was alright during year 12. I pretty much know everything. So in that case, you're a better man than me. So for me, one of the key things, and I cannot stress this enough because it really did mess me up, you need to get UCAS out the way as soon as possible. Like, it is the biggest burden and the biggest weight over your shoulders that you're gonna feel the whole, until that deadline on January, you were gonna feel that the whole time. It's always gonna be there in the back of your mind, your teachers, your form tutors, even your your classmates, your friends, they're all gonna be talking about unis, all this and that. Just please, 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 get it done. Especially before, if like my school, we had mocks beforehand. So while I'm trying to revise, I'm then having to also do my personal statement, do this, do that. Please, please, just get it done. It ended up to the fact that I was using the majority of my frees in year 13. Doing UCAS and not revising, and that did eventually catch up to me. So just get out of the way. I think for me, the thing that dragged it down the most and the thing that just kept it going and going was the personal statement. I went for about 5 drafts just to try to get it perfect. And I mean, if like I said, you know, if anyone wants to see my personal statement, like again, please do let me know. I could do a video on personal statement. As I said, I'm not a genius. Like I'm not an expert, but I can give my personal advice and thoughts on it. But yeah, you just need to get it done and out the way because it's such a distraction from your studies. And while you're thinking you're being productive, because you're like, oh, you know, I'm doing my stuff at uni, you need to revise, unless you're not going to get into uni. So the real, like, think as doing UCAS, and while it is good, you're essentially wasting time. Like, you need to get that done, but obviously don't rush it, but just plan well. Don't just do it towards November, December. Like, I started mine literally December, which was, yeah, looking back, it was stupid. But yeah, just, if it was down to me, I'd say just get it done. Now, third tip, this one is also quite big, is to take your mocks seriously. Now, I cannot stress the amount of times I heard people say, oh, you know, the real ones will be different. You know, oh yeah, Nike, I'm just slacking, I can't be arsed. I know I'm not dumb. I know that if I revise properly, I'll do well, this, that, and that. When they get their mock results back, that's not how it goes. Your mock results are a good reflection of how you're going to do. Because let's say you're revising ineffectively, you can't be arsed. You're probably going to get that same feeling during your real things. That is because you don't know how to actually get in the mode of just revising before your exams. Now, some people are just better when it comes to exam season and can do better, but that's not going to be the majority of people. You have to be getting into the habit of constantly succeeding, getting good grades. Like for me, it was, I wanted to build momentum from the mocks and carry that good momentum into the real things. So for example, I was, you know, getting A's and A stars in psychology constantly. And then when I got an A and when I did the actual paper, during May and June, I was happy because I knew what I was doing. I was confident in my answers and I pretty much, like, I knew the structure well enough. Sociology, I wasn't doing bad. I was getting like B's and I got like an A here and there, but that eventually was what led to me into getting an A, which was actually a surprise. I thought I was going to get a B. And then here's another, like, I'm like what I said earlier about people saying, oh, you know, when it comes to the real things, I'll be all right. I'm a victim to that when I'm talking about biology. During year 12, I was getting A's. Then year 13 came and my word, was it a lot of content. So I then kept saying to myself, you know, I'll revise it then, this, that, and the other. I was getting C's, edging B's, stuff like this. Then when it came to the real things, I did kind of have that in the back of my mind, like, I haven't got an A all year and I think I'm gonna get an A now. So, you know, it is quite a psychological thing. So I feel like it's just better off to try and just aim to get the best, so then when it comes to the real thing, you feel like you're gonna get the best. Like, mocks are there for a reason. You're practicing to then put it into the real thing. So yeah, just getting into a habit of succeeding is just, you're destined to do well. And also another thing, not all schools have this, but for me personally, we had mocks in October when we came back, on October, November half term. So obviously that is before the UCAS deadline. So the grades I got then, I could then raise my predicteds up to therefore get in a better uni. So let's say your predicteds for the end of year 12 weren't that great. If your school does do it and have mocks in the start of year 13, take them seriously. You can get into a better uni. Like, don't waste that opportunity to push yourself to it and, you know, get into a better placement just because you're getting lazy because they're mocks. Like, please take your mock seriously. And it is quite hard. Like, trust me, year 13 is such a drag. It is so tiring, but you really just got to get into the habit. It's only a year of your life, and then get into your uni and you should be fine. I mean, I don't know, I haven't got uni yet, so I guess we'll see. Now, another thing I would say is, when I did hear this towards like trying to revise, I didn't really believe it at first, but now looking back, planning a timetable is quite good. And I don't mean anything complex. Like, you don't have to do, I saw some like on Google Docs and like Excel, all this, like people were doing real sweaty thing. No, we don't need that. For me, the main thing about a calendar was just to, first of all, track your revision, because you need to address, so it's quite clear where you should address your focus on. Because let's say, because what I did, whenever I revised my frees, I wrote down Well, I didn't write it down. I put it on my laptop. What I did, what subject, this, that, and the other. So then you can see. Like, let's say I did on Monday all bio. I don't need to do bio like consistently like that. I need to focus on psychology, sociology, this, that, and the other. Or let's say I'm doing year 13 content for all my subjects on one day. You kind of need to address year 12. Like for me, a timetable was not just to, just do this, then do this, that. I did do whatever I wanted, but it's also I can track what I'm doing, so then I know where I'm doing too much and where I'm doing too less, so then I know what to do next. And it's making sure you don't ignore any key parts of the course. It's making sure you can balance your homework with your revision, and you also have an idea. Like let's say you work, let's say you have some family arrangement, stuff like this. Just planning around that is just ideal, so then you don't get lost during your revision. Also, I think it is good to dedicate time to revise, sometimes with your friends, and dedicate time to revise by yourself. Now, the revising with friends is good and it is bad. It depends which friends. If it's friends that are revising, but they're kind of like, revising, then it isn't ideal. But I think me personally, during the half term that you have during your exam season, like the one where it goes at the end of May into the start of June, I was with my friend on a call pretty much every day, 12 hours a day. Just like, we don't even have to talk, we're just sitting in silence pretty much, but then here and now ask each other questions. Having someone there, you'll feel like you're being watched, so you're gonna feel bad if you take a look at your phone. You're gonna, like, let's say you go for too long for a break, like downstairs or something, like, oh shit, I need to go back up because someone's there. Like, it is pretty much just a way to implement some kind of like discipline into your revision, and it's also it's productive competitiveness, because you're competing to do better than each other, you're competing to do well, and you're encouraging yourself. Like sometimes when I didn't feel like getting up and I planned to get up that day, but I was thinking of sleeping in, I would then get a call being like, you said you're gonna wake up, get up. So yeah, planning a timetable, planning when to do this, when to do that, when to do with friends, when to do by yourself, it is quite essential if you're gonna aim for the best grades. But yeah, and finally, my last key thing is you need to take care of yourself. Now, it is the most cliche thing that everyone says, but it is one of the most important things. It was so stressful. Like, after every exam, I thought it was so tiring, and you begin to doubt yourself after exams. You think to yourself, I didn't get this, and people talk around you saying, what do you get, this, that, and the other. Try to just distance yourself as much as possible with that, because it does just knock your confidence. And then come to results day, like my personal experience, the same people who were saying that to you, saying you're wrong, are the ones going through clearing, doing this, doing the other. So you really have just got to have confidence in yourself. Know that if you've worked hard, you're going to do well. But you have to balance this with just putting yourself first over other people. Like, let's say you need a break, you don't want to, do this with other people, don't want to revise with other people. Just take care of yourself. Like, for example, I went to the gym quite often. I did go less and less towards exam season, obviously, because just spending most time revising. Even stuff like during June when the weather was nice, I was revising outside in the garden. Even having to force yourself to stop working after a certain time, stuff like that. But that's mainly, in saying that, I only did that if I had done enough that day. It's just mainly just keeping track of how much you're doing, ensuring that you're okay, you're still healthy, you're still mentally well, and also just maintain balance of your social life as well. Like, you don't want to disconnect from your friends too much. They're still there for you. They're still there if you want to revise with them. They're probably still there to support you. And a lot of the time when you're stressed, you do take it out on the wrong people. So make sure you're not, unnecessarily rude to family, friends, stuff like that. Just take care of yourself, because the worst thing you need when you're going through such a hard things like A-levels is external stress, and putting more weight on yourself that's really needed. But yeah, like I said, as cliche as it sounds, if you want to succeed, you need to take care of yourself. But yeah, if obviously, like I said earlier, these tips may not get you an A star, may not get you an A. Like, I'm no expert, but as someone who has just gone through A-levels, gone through year 13, which is quite hard, it's definitely one of the hardest things, if not the hardest thing you could do in education, then I thought, why not give my experience and help someone who might need it? You never know. But yeah, good luck to all you going into year 13. I hope you all get the grades you want, get into the unis you want, and just succeed, because that's all we're here for. But yeah, like I said earlier, if you did find this video useful and you did enjoy it, please do leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here. Yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next one in a bit.
Rapping for way too long. She just been hitting my line, she saying, blood, look at my favorite song. I just been taking that girl, snapping them up when I'm up in a thong. I just been trying to do right, I ain't even trying to do wrong. Tell me you rockin', you wrong. Tell me you rollin', you rock. Tell me you rockin', you wrong. Tell me you rollin', you rock.